JT and Victoria have agreed to go to couples counseling, and JT has pulled the plug on Victor, so stay tuned for this week's Restless Wrap.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey everybody, I'm Rachel Goodman here with this week's Restless Wrap. Just as always, it's been one crazy week, especially this week with Victor, who may or may not be dying. And just when we think he might be okay, JT has pulled the plug. So let's go ahead and get started here. We have a lot to talk about, especially with JT and Victoria. Also, Hillary and Devon. We're going to tackle that first because JT, there is a lot this week. There's some stuff with Jack. I just want to give a shout out to everyone in the chat. We have Ice Woman 1887, we have Tiffany, we have Simone, we have Demo, we have Hubby Joe, we have, I think that's it today. Yeah, so thank you everyone in the chat for joining us live. I'll be reading your comments as we go along here. I just want to give a shout out to Tiffany too, who always posts on our @RestlessWrap Facebook page. This week she had a couple of things to say. First is Victoria's completely breaking my heart, enough said. Then she posted a really hilarious graphic on the Facebook page basically saying that what really needs to happen is that JT needs to get hit by a bus. I'm seeing a lot of hashtag JT needs to get hit by a buses this week, so we'll definitely talk about that. But also just want to give a heads up for anyone listening. If you go over to our Facebook page @RestlessWrap, like and follow, and if you post any kind of comments there, I'll always read it on the show. So be sure to like and follow that page. I also post the link to the show every week, so you don't have to go looking for it if you're on Facebook there. Okay, so first let's talk about everything going on with Devon and Hillary, and then after that we can take live calls. So I'll give out the number later for anyone who's listening live. But first, let's talk about Devon and Hillary. So first of all, we started off this week with basically Lily and Mariah having a little talk about everything that was happening with Hillary and Devon. Meanwhile, Hillary and Devon have just kind of done the deed in order to conceive their child. So we kind of were cutting back and forth between this conversation with Lily and Mariah and Devon and Hillary, who were in the hotel room. So Lily, first of all, I just want to say that Mariah, I give her character credit. She's always very calm and always has the rational thing to say. I'll be really upset. Like, I know how soaps can be where sometimes they make a character who's usually rational do things that aren't. So I'll be really upset if they ever make her, change her character into a character that doesn't have the rational point of view. Because basically Lily was saying that, Lily was going around basically bragging that they locked Hillary in the office last week when she was going to go to that appointment. And Mariah's basically like, what, you think that this was okay? And Lily's response was, well, she was safe. She had water, which I thought was hilarious. Almost put it in the wall moment, but didn't. So basically Mariah says, and you think that it was okay to do this? And Mariah, who doesn't especially like Hillary, went on to basically defend her, which says a lot about Mariah as a character, that she's kind of willing to look at things objectively, even if she doesn't personally like someone. And even Mariah said that she knows that Hillary and Devon have a connection, and that she knew it from the time she was dating Devon. So it was kind of nice to see Mariah actually stick up for Hillary, even though I'm not the biggest Hillary fan. Ever since Christmas, I've been a little more okay with Hillary than I used to be, and I want her with Devon. So kind of at this point, Lily is starting to get on my nerves. I don't know how you guys feel in the chat or anyone watching who's not watching live. Let's hear your thoughts on that. So basically, Lily is still trying to get this whole thing. She's still trying to mess with the appointment. Lily calls in again and basically tries to find out when the next artificial insemination appointment is. And at first, the assistant or whoever she was talking to didn't want to actually talk to Lily. It took a while for Lily to kind of, I guess, talk her way into this person giving her information. And when Lily found out that there was no appointment, she was actually kind of excited and thought that, she might be doing things the right way. Meanwhile, Devon and Hillary, after they sleep together the first time, they kind of have this really sweet exchange with each other in the hotel room where basically they end up sleeping together a second time after Hillary says that the best thing is that Devon and Hillary will basically have this child together and that they'll both love the child. And it kind of seemed like they were having a moment. Devon, it was kind of weird because it feels like he's definitely pushing Hillary away and keeping her at a distance, but at the same time, he was the one to suggest having sex again. So he is very conflicted at this point. It'll be interesting to see what happens because it kind of did seem like Devon and Hillary were finding their way back together. So we have a couple of comments. Tiffany says, Devon and Hillary needs to end. I will say, though, that Kyle and Hillary deserve each other. They're both manipulative, annoying, and vindictive. And the more he's with Hillary, the less he's with Mariah. That's true. So Kyle and Hillary, I kind of do see that as something that could work out. But let's see what happens with Devon and Hillary, because we have everything happening with Simone, too. And it just seems like after the whole thing with Simone, that Devon and Hillary actually started to drift apart. Icewoman1887 says, I am hating Lily right now. Yeah, Lily is just... Lily and Kane both, but especially Lily. Lily's just acting really weird. Now, anyone who's been watching a long time, if you want to comment and let me know if this is anything she's ever done before, but the Lily that I've been watching for almost a year now didn't seem like she would ever do something like this. She seemed to be the nice one between the two, to the point where I actually sided with Lily all the time and felt bad for her and wanted Hillary to just knock it off anytime that they were in some kind of exchange together. But now I find myself rooting for Hillary a little bit more just because of what Lily's doing. Simone, I want Hillary and Devon together, but only if he accepts Hillary as she is, because every time he tries to change her, it goes wrong. Oh, and that could be a problem too. Hubby Joe, Hillary and Devon are boring. It's dragged out and a waste of time. The writers are making Devon dumb for falling for Hillary's bull. And I won't repeat the rest. Tiffany, I'm behind Lily. Maybe not the way she's going about it, but I do agree. If Hillary wanted a kid, then go ahead, have a kid. Have 100 kids, but leave Devon out of it. See, my problem with that is I agree. Like, I used to not want Devon and Hillary together at all, and it was really annoying anytime Devon would be staring at Hillary and watching her, especially when Mariah was with Devon. I was so annoyed with Devon. And this is kind of before the whole Tessa thing with Mariah, too. But it was very annoying. But now I'm finding myself annoyed with Lily because it feels like she's trying to control the situation. And I get it, like, leave Devon out of it, go have a child. But it's not exactly Lily's choice or decision, though I do understand because ordinarily I'd be on Lily's side. Hubby Joe, Lily is being made to be a spoiled kid who's not getting her way. Miss Bubbles, Devon's character is a waste. Even making him a billionaire hasn't made him interesting. Maxwell Comics, I ship Kyle and Mariah. I could see that happening too. I saw, like, even though I know we've always been talking about Mariah and Tessa, but seeing Kyle and Mariah together actually was kind of good too, because it seemed like they kind of had some kind of chemistry. So we'll have to see what happens with that, except for the fact that Kyle is so bad. But I don't know, maybe Mariah could bring him around so he's not bad anymore. Icewoman1887, Lily is only like this when it comes to Hillary. Okay, so, I mean, that could be something, too, because Hillary definitely brings out a bad side in Lily then. Miss Bubbles, I remembered when the writers had Devon have a crush on Lily. I think that was back when she was married to Daniel. The writers had, oh my goodness, okay, so I did not know that. That's a very interesting situation to write, but, all right, so let's keep going here. So Hillary comes back into the office after she slept with Devon, and basically she's bragging about it, and she's trying to play it off like, oh, well, you know, I just came to the office, and Devon is coming into the office late. What do you think that means? And then Hillary basically ends up telling Lily that, yeah, they did the deed, and Lily is furious and can't believe it. And the thing I was thinking is, Hillary, why are you telling Lily? She's going to go to Devon and tell Devon that you're basically bragging about it, which is going to hurt your chances and make you look bad. But in any case, that's exactly what Lily does. She goes to Devon. She tells him that Lily tries to make it sound like Hillary was telling everyone. And this is the thing. It's so much drama with Lily. That's another reason why she's annoying me right now. It's one thing to say, oh, well, you know, Hillary told me and she was being like she was throwing this in my face. But Lily flat out lied and said, oh, no, she was telling everyone that you guys were having sex. That I thought was pretty immature and pretty dramatic and just made me want to roll my eyes. I almost did roll my eyes at that. So that's kind of why it's kind of hard for me to back Lily or Hillary 100% because Lily's annoying me. Hillary, I don't know. I'm still like up in the air about her because she's nicer than who she used to be, but she's still kind of doing a lot of things that annoy me too. Let's see. We have Tiffany says Mariah and Kyle are forced because people reacted badly to a gay bisexual couple. Mariah's storyline. Even they said they have never been friends. They have never been anything. It's forced and dumb, which could be, but we'll see what happens with that. Simone, I have a brother myself, but I only tell him once when he is doing something I do not like because he has to learn on his own. Exactly. And that's my problem with Lily is that she's being too forceful about this and it just seems uncharacteristic for her. Simone, I agree. Klexanvers, Kyle has been presented as a schemer, so he needs a Chelsea or Chloe type, not someone who's trying to be good like Mariah. Miss Bubbles, if people mind their business and did everything they should, we wouldn't have a soap to watch. Okay, this is very true. I agree with you. But my problem with Lily is that it doesn't feel like it's something she would have done. Now, I've been watching for a year. If she's done things like this, I mean, I know someone said, I think it was Ice Woman, who said that Hillary brings out this bad side in Lily. For the last year that I've watched, this is the worst I've ever seen Lily. Before, when Hillary would talk to her, it would get bad, but usually Lily would be this rational character who would kind of just be fighting against Hillary. And yeah, sometimes it got a little dramatic, but this is just not that good. But then again, I know it's Devon, her brother, who's about to have a baby with Hillary. So yeah, maybe it is bringing out the extreme in her. It just bugs me. Hubby Joe, Hillary did tell Devon's date that they slept together. Yeah, she did. She definitely implied it without actually saying it. Tiffany, the fact that Hillary feels the need to rub it in Lily's face and go out of her way to try and make him jealous speaks a lot to Hillary and her motives. Devon may be 100% business, but not her. Yeah, and that's another thing, is that Hillary shouldn't be rubbing it in anyone's face. She shouldn't be, strutting into the office, talking about it like that. That annoyed me, too. And I am not a huge Hillary fan. I mean, I know, sometimes I want to like her. That's the problem. I want to like Hillary so badly because I feel bad for her because of that whole storyline in Christmas when the letter, I think Devon found that letter and had her read it without her realizing it was going to be her letter. But that letter that she read that was addressed from this little girl about her mother, I don't know if Devon was the one that found it, but Hillary happened to read it. And it was about this little girl who just wanted to buy her mother a dress and just make her mother happy. Ever since then, I have had more of a soft spot for Hillary as a character, but she just does so many things that make me not want to like her, and walking in there and strutting her stuff and acting like she is winning and she has this power. I guess it's because of everything that's happened to her, but it's annoying the way she's going about it. Maxwell Comics says, true, I agree that Kyle and Mariah kind of seemed forced, but I could work. I want them to stay if Mariah is gay or bi. Tiffany, I hate Kyle. I hate his personality. He's far too smug, and Mariah deserves someone good, male or female. I agree. I do not like Kyle. I sensed chemistry between Kyle and Mariah, but see, here's the thing. When Kyle was with Mariah, Kyle actually acted nicer. Did you guys all notice that? He actually seemed like the kind of character that could be likable. In every other scene, especially at the office at Jabot, Kyle came off as this really narcissistic, a-hole, for lack of a better word, and basically he just seemed like this jerk that you would not want to talk to. When he was talking to Mariah, though, it didn't seem so bad. Even when he was talking to Hillary, it didn't seem as bad. Then again, they were kind of scheming together to piss off Devon. But even then, I kind of was like, okay, Kyle, I see what you're doing. That's kind of nice that you would help her. Even though he just kind of sort of met her for one of the first few times. I think they had met once or twice before, but kind of was fast to be helping her like that. But I didn't dislike Kyle that much in that scene. Caroline Spencer, Kyle needs to go ASAP. Demo, give Kyle a chance, you guys. He's a troubled guy. So that is a question, because from the way that he's been talking to the characters, it sounds like a couple of years ago he was on the show. I don't know if it was the same actor or what, same age, I am not sure. But I would be curious to know what his past actually is. And it's just interesting that basically now, I know we're kind of jumping topics here, but just really fast. Basically now Jack and Ashley are coming back into good terms now that Kyle's back in the picture. N says, I really loved Hillary and Kyle's interaction this past week. And then, let's see, we have Miss Bubbles. Hillary reminds me of a young Erica Kane on the make. Tiffany, well, as far as Kyle being a nice guy around Mariah, JT can put on a nice guy act too around everyone else. And that's true. That's kind of what it sounds like, is that, yeah, I liked Kyle in the moment when he was talking to Mariah, but we all know how these guys can be, well, how people can be in general, putting on fake acts. But a guy like Kyle, yeah, probably knows how to act a certain way, but I have no doubt in my mind that Mariah will be able to read right through him and she'll be okay. And hopefully, if his intentions are really bad toward her, if anything even happens, hopefully she just pushes him away. Maxwell Comics, Kyle was so mean to Ashley and Abby. Yeah, he was. Simone, I like Kyle. I feel like he has a chip on his shoulder when it comes to his father. So, just to finish up the Hillary and Devon situation, basically Simone comes back into the picture. And of course, Lily wants Simone and Devon to basically start rekindling whatever it was that they had. It isn't really quite clear what they had in the first place. It sounded like they were dating before. And Simone basically admits that they were kind of hanging out, but nothing had really happened. So basically, Lily arranges it so that Devon goes out on a date with Simone, and they start kind of hanging out again. Pretty quickly, Hillary kind of mentions the fact to Devon that, because obviously Hillary sees what's happening, that Devon is going out with Simone, and she's of course jealous. And she pretty quickly mentions to Devon, hey, have you told Simone about this baby that we're having yet? And Devon's answer kind of frustrated me too, because he basically said, no, I haven't told her because there's no baby to tell her about. But then it's like, okay, how could you start dating Simone and then not tell the new girlfriend that you're about to start dating that could end up being serious, you never know, tell her that you're trying to have a baby with your ex-wife? That's something that you need to say, like, on the very first date before it actually happens, if you're going to even keep dating this person. So then we have the whole thing with Kyle and Hillary, where they walk in, and basically Hillary, without even telling Kyle what she's doing, she tries to kind of play it off like she's flirting with Kyle and that she's going to go have dinner with him. And when they go and they sit down, Kyle, this is when he's like, well, you're not trying hard enough. And then Kyle starts making out with Hillary right in front of Devon. Simone obviously can tell that it's, distracting Devon. And Simone, I didn't know what she was capable of until she had that interaction with Hillary, when she basically snapped back at her and said, oh, by the way, Devon wasn't noticing you at all when you tried to pull that stunt earlier. And it's like, okay, now we know that Simone actually knows that Hillary is into Devon. I guess it was really obvious anyway. But in any case, that's when the whole situation happens where Devon, we kind of go to like the next date. Devon's trying to tell Simone that he's planning on having a baby with Hillary, or I don't know if he was even going to say Hillary, maybe just that he was going to have a baby. And then he gets his call conveniently, leaves the table, Hillary comes over and basically spills the beans and hints that this baby was going to come from natural insemination. So Simone ends up telling Devon that it's okay if the baby has already been conceived, but going forward, if Devon is going to try to do this, then Simone is going to be out of the picture because she's not going to want to deal with it. So that's kind of where they left, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Devon, I don't know. Anyone who's listening live in the chat, or if you're listening and it's not live and you want to leave a comment, let me know what you think. Do you think Devon is going to end up going back with Hillary? Because there are moments when it seems like he is going to, but then all of a sudden he just pushes Hillary away again. And this whole thing with Simone, it doesn't seem like he likes her that much, and it's just going to turn into him dating someone, and it's going to be almost like he's not dating Mariah, but just dating someone that he's not really into that much. So let's see. We have some comments here, and then we will do we'll take some calls after this. So Demo says it's a different actor, Rachel. This is talking about Kyle. Kyle's mom was killed by Nikki back in the day. Oh, I did not know that. Miss Bubbles, this is the third aged Kyle, I think. Caroline Spencer, I hate what they did with JT's character. I was so excited to have him back on the show, and they destroyed his character. Yeah, we're going to talk about JT next after this. Tiffany says Mariah wouldn't take anyone's crap like Victoria. Yeah, that's the thing, is that Mariah, I don't think she would deal with it. Not to say that it's not understandable when someone is in a bad situation, because obviously with JT, he started off really sweet. So you never know. But yeah, I don't think, I don't know. I don't think Mariah's going to end up in that same situation. Demo, poor Victoria, she's living a sad life. Yeah, we'll get to her right after this. Ice Woman, Kyle was all about Summer, Nick and Phyllis's daughter, last time he was on. Kyle didn't really have much to do with Mariah because Mariah and Summer hate each other. Okay, that makes sense. Let's see. Demo, Devon playing Simone for a fool, not cool. Simone, this week has shown me it is not all Hillary's fault. Devon plays his share of games as well. It's very true. Maxwell Comics, it's irresponsible to be doing stuff with other guys because she's on the meds to get pregnant. He could end up pregnant by someone else if she messes around with other guys. That is very true, and I didn't even think about that because I didn't think that Hillary was actually going to sleep with Kyle. I just thought she was kind of like, making out with him right in front of Devon. If she does, then yeah, well, I guess it'll be another situation where they don't know who the father is. Demo says, Devon will run back to Hillary for sure. Every woman is a placeholder for Hillary. Tiffany, it really made me mad how Victoria was ready to break up with JT, but it was all erased by sex, flowers, and empty promises. Yeah. And Hubby Joe, I agree with Tiffany. Victoria's confused and needs help soon. Tiffany, get your act together, Victoria. You are not this stupid. You are not this weak. You are not a victim. Do not let the Y&R overlords make you into one. So, that being said, let's transition here. We have a live read just to give like a little announcement, and then I'm going to give you guys the number if anyone wants to call in. So, want to have fun, learn, and grow in all areas of your life? For those who do, have we got the podcast for you? Conversation with Maria Menounos, Podcast Edition, is hosted by our AfterBuzz TV founder and drops every Friday on iTunes. Conversations with Maria Menounos feature celebrity and influencer interviews, along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of life, from health and wellness to career, relationship, finances, and more. Let our Maria be the big sister you've always wanted. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free. Be sure to rate and comment, and when you do, let Maria know it was us who sent you there. Conversations with Maria Menounos, Podcast Edition. Check it out. Okay, so for anyone that wants to call in live, the number is 424-253-0749. Anyone who's listening live, it's Sunday the 8th at 5:39 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If anyone wants to call in and you're watching live, that number is 424-253-0749. We're going to go ahead and talk about JT and Victoria. So especially if you have anything to say about that, now is a good time to call in, but we'll take calls on any topic you guys want to discuss. So, all right, we have a couple of other comments here. Let's see. I believe Devon and Hillary will eventually get back together. Right now, he's still punishing her for the stuff that happened when they're married. Brittany Duran, I think Hillary and Devon would end up together. Tiffany, I don't want Mariah to be my big sister. I want Rachel. I think she means me, so cool. Demo, love Mariah. Caroline Spencer, I get they are trying to show the different sides of domestic abuse, but geez, why a strong woman like her and why JT, it just doesn't hold up. Tiffany, what was the number again? Oh, it's, okay, so it's 424-253-0749. So 424-253-0749. Awesome. Thanks for calling Restless Rap. This is Rachel. Who's on the line?
It's your favorite caller, Max.
Hey, Max. How are you?
Good.
So I was just going to start talking about JT and Victoria. Do you have any thoughts on everything that went down this week with the two of them?
I laughed.
Yeah. Which part made you laugh? Or just
I was laughing at the part where Victoria was going to walk in and break up with him, and then JT just starts saying like all this really nice stuff, and then they just fall into bed. And it was like, Victoria, you were almost free, and you just ruined it.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was so frustrating too because I get what's happening, but it's just the whole thing. He is being so controlling, and I think what makes me irritated with Victoria is how mean she's kind of being to everyone else around her about it.
Yeah.
It's one thing to deny it, but then it's another to be mean about it.
It's like she gets a little extra about it.
Yeah.
And then I also laughed at the part where JT unyanked Victor's life support thing, because it's so stupid. Because obviously they have cameras at the hospital.
Yeah. And even if they didn't have a camera,
the only one who decided to stay behind. It's not going to be hard to figure out it was him.
Plus, even if they didn't have the camera in the room, they would probably see him with his hoodie up in the hallways. The whole thing was so stupid.
It's just stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
And then his logic, oh, you killed Colleen. And I was asking my mom about it, because my mom's been watching way longer than me, obviously. So I was like, well, what happened with Colleen? Like, how did she really die? And my mom told me that Colleen was looking for JT, and she fell in some ice, and she drowned. But Victor needed a heart transplant, so when Colleen died, Victor got Colleen's heart.
Oh, so it had nothing to do. Yeah.
So JT's mad about that. But I'm like, okay, Victor didn't push her in the ice. I mean, I don't know why you're so mad at Victor just because he has a heart.
Yeah.
If you go by that logic, that means that Connor killed Delia, because when Billy's daughter died, Connor got Delia's corneas.
So it's the same.
So if you go by that logic, then Connor killed Delia. I don't know. That's just his logic is just dumb to me. I don't know.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of messed up too. I think he's obviously worried that when Victor wakes up, he's gonna push him out of town.
Obviously, he's gonna spill tea and tell.
Yeah. Now here's the other thing is that I don't know how life support works with that. I would think that it would be, first of all, the fact that the alarms are going off, someone is probably going to hear it and run into the room and turn it back on before anything happens. And then, this is my guess what they're going to do. They're going to say, okay, well, since he was off life support for 2 minutes, now he's not going to wake up for another, couple of weeks. So then they can keep the storyline going where Victor can't tell anyone what really happened.
I don't know. I thought for the preview I saw for this week, it sounds like it was going to be really big. So I don't.
Yeah, well, we'll see. That would be awesome. I have not seen the preview yet, so but everything happening. What did you feel about everything with Mac? Did you feel she was in the right to confront JT about that with everything with?
I feel like Mac. I just feel so bad for Mac. Have you ever been that friend in the group that knows all the secrets, and you're trying to tell your friends, but your friends are just kind of shut up, Mac. Just shut up. We're good. We're good.
They don't want to listen to you.
Poor Mac's just sitting there, trying to just protect Victoria. She's like, women got to stick together, and Victoria's just being mean about it. And then JT tries to ambush her. And this is the thing about JT. What JT will do, he'll run up on a girl, right, and try to be all up in her face and intimidate her. And then when she tries to get away, he'll grab her, and then he wants to be shocked when he gets hit.
Yeah, and then the thing that really irritates me too is that Victoria keeps saying she slapped JT. There was never, I went back and when we watched that, Victoria was maybe hitting him on the ribs or something, but it wasn't a full-on slap, and she was only doing it because he was literally holding her back and she couldn't move. She keeps trying to take the blame for that. And
Victoria's doing that because she feels she has to, because she knows that if she says what really happens, he's gonna get mad and try to defend himself.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why he doesn't understand. The only reason he got hit is because he wouldn't let her leave. Victoria was trying to leave because she didn't want to hear all that crap he was saying, but he was forcing her to sit there and get abused. So she tried to get him off her, and he just reacted and choked her.
Yeah, exactly. And then the whole thing with Mac is that something really bad must have happened. Mac has said emotional abuse. It's got to be something deeper that he's not going to get visitation rights with the kids, because a court wouldn't
Yeah.
they would only, like, if there would have to be something, even worse. Not that emotional abuse isn't bad, but there must have been something really bad that happened that he's not going to be able to see the kids unless it's supervision. And even then, JT, the thing that pisses me off with him is that when Max said that to him, he was like, well, I don't understand. Why can't I see the kids? Why do I have to see them with a stranger? Like, he doesn't understand. And that is so frustrating because it's like he's so bad
No.
that how do you not know that what you're doing is wrong?
And then I'm also feeling bad for Reed in the situation because I know, like, once Victor wakes up and he spills all of the tea, JT's not going to survive. Someone's going to kill him, whether it's Victoria or, Victor's goons or somebody. JT's going to die, probably.
Yeah.
Most likely. And go to jail for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
So that what's his first name? Reed? Poor Reed. I don't know. Reed's going to go through it.
And the two kids, too. That's a lot for them to deal with. And that's the thing is that if Mac... So he can't be around her kids. So I almost wonder, too, if the abuse extended beyond just Mac. And maybe he was physically violent with the children. So...
Yeah, either physically abusive to the children or emotionally abusive to the children.
Yeah.
But, like, JT doesn't think emotional abuse exists. He thinks, everyone's just being silly. But I don't know how you think it can be silly. Because, okay, Max said it. But Victoria's saying it also, and you just got with Victoria. But I don't... Because when it's more than one person calling you out, it has to be you.
Yeah.
It can no longer just be Max because Victoria's saying it. Nikki saw it. That's the whole reason why they got into the argument, because Nikki told JT, oh, you're being a bit controlling with Victoria.
Yeah, exactly. And just the whole thing. And now JT is basically acting like, oh, well, Victoria's saying this because of Mac. And he's always blaming Mac for what Victoria's saying. And Victoria, all she was basically saying was, hey, let's just not get married right away. And he just was not listening. And, like, that's not normal. In a normal relationship, the guy would say, yeah, that's fine. We'll take our time.
Why do you need to get married so quickly? I don't understand.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I
like,
guess he wants some more cushion because he knows Victor's going to tell on him, and I guess it's going to be harder to leave if, like, they're married.
That's true. And maybe even if it wasn't for Victor, maybe he's also like thinking that, all right, well, it'll be harder for her to divorce me if she decides she's going to leave because of this, so-called emotional abuse. So he's probably just trying to get it so that she's like really stuck with him because, obviously Victoria can file for divorce, but it's not going to be this easy thing. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens with that. But thank you so much for...
I still think he's just with Victoria just to get a Victor, basically.
Yeah.
It's more of a F you. I'm in bed with your daughter. Because basically, because do you notice that JT keeps trying to get Victoria to like stop talking to Victor or don't go see Victor or all your issues aren't because of me, they're because of Victor. Like just trying to blame it on the guy that's like in the hospital fighting for his life.
Yeah, and even this week when he said, "Oh, don't go to Victor anymore. Let me be your rock." He's trying to isolate her.
He's like, Victor's not your daddy. I'm your daddy. That was kind of big to me. I was like, oh, okay. That's a little weird.
But thank you so much for calling in. Did you have any other thoughts you wanted to add before we get off the line?
I just hope that GT dies this week somehow, some way. He gets killed.
There should be a bus, like Tiffany said.
I have to fast forward through their scenes. I can't do it. I can't bear it. I can't watch it.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch Hillary and Devon. I'd rather watch that.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. Well, thank you so much, and have a great week.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so let's take a couple of the comments from the chat, and then, after that, I guess we'll get to our law moment. And then just really quickly, we kind of touched on Kyle already, so I guess we'll talk more about that next week. Miss Bubbles, Mac was abused by her stepfather, which leads to her running away, meeting an amnesiac. Katherine, who was staying at the homeless shelter, so it's in her past to protect her children. Okay, that makes sense. Hubby Joe, I predict that JT will attach to Victoria again, and Reed is going to attack Victoria again, and Reed is going to walk in and fight off or kill JT. Okay, awesome. This is Rachel with Restless Rap. Who do we have on the line?
Hi, Brittany.
Hey, Brittany, how are you?
Good.
So, why don't we talk a little bit about what happened with Jack and the DNA and everything with that? So, do you think that, do you feel like, and Kyle a little bit too, but how do you feel? What do you think is going to happen with the whole DNA situation? We know now that Jack is not an Abbott by blood.
I think that he's gonna find out.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of predict that
it's gonna happen. Yeah.
Like, they're probably going to have to use that to get Kyle out of there.
Mhm. Yep.
So I feel like that's the next step, especially the way Kyle's acting. What do you think about everything with Kyle and his logic, and what do you think he's going to do with Jabot?
I think he, since he was like talking to Victor, like Victor's not coaching him now, obviously, but I feel like he has some kind of influence, and I feel like he's not gonna do what they want. He's just gonna do his own thing until like he can't be like a CEO anymore. Like it can't be like until they put a stop to it, because he's doing his own thing. And
yeah, that makes complete sense.
Ashley and like Abby and them are like, they're like, what is going on? Like,
yeah, and then everything, Kyle, I know we were talking about this in the chat too, just the way that Kyle is acting, it's terrible. I can barely watch those scenes because that guy is just so full of himself. And now, I was not watching when Kyle was on before, but I'm just wondering what it was like for Jack and Kyle before, if they ever even got along at all. But it's
I think they have before, but I think it's different now that he's come back.
Yeah. I'll be really interested to see what they do with the DNA. Did you have any other thoughts on everything? Like, we know, what about Nikki and Victor? How did you feel with those scenes and the way that Nikki's acting toward him?
I feel like she still like cares and like is really like wanting to make sure that he's gonna like come through and stuff, even though she did have that affair with Arturo.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for calling in.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have a great week.
You too. Thanks.
Bye. So we have a couple of other comments, and then after that we'll get to our law moment. So Simone says, do we really know if Jack isn't the Abbott, or could it be Tracy? That's a good point, and they made it a huge point that there was a 99% chance of accuracy. So it's always that 1% chance that the test is not, the results were off. Caroline Spencer, Abby almost told him a few times this week. Caroline also says, from what the mother says, it's Jack, but I'm sure it will only be right now. Oh, no, wait, they did a DNA test. Yeah, they did the DNA test. Miss Bubbles, Jack has always been his own worst enemy. That Abbott only clause is coming back to hurt him. Hubby Joe, prediction. Victor was coaching Kyle how to take over the company so he could sell it to Victor. That is a really good prediction and sounds like something that actually would be true. And that whole dream that Jack had sounds like it could come to fruition. Detalian Cole says, who was that woman that came to see Victor and kissed his hand? That's a really good question, and I thought they were hinting that it was Jill, but then when we saw Jill, I realized her hair isn't that color, and it might have been a younger person. I don't know, though, because we didn't see them. We just saw the back of their hair. But really good question. Miss Bubbles, let's see. Damn, Dina's a real G. She pawned 3 children off on John. That's a really good point. Now we don't know if Tracy's actually an Abbott. I mean, I'm assuming that Billy is, because Billy is Jill's son. So let's go ahead and get to our law moment now. Okay, Nikki made the cut again. I have a couple things this time, though, but I wrote down as the number 1 law moment all of Nikki's scenes crying at Victor's bedside. It was hilarious because, I'm sorry, but it was so overly acted. I am so sorry, but it just was really funny. And I just was like, wow, it's a lot of, I get it. She really loves Victor, apparently, but just how she's acting with it, oh my goodness, it's just overly dramatic. Then I have Phyllis saying that Victor was immortal and that he would magically survive. And then he would wax off his mustache. I want to see that happen because that would be hilarious. And it almost feels like Victor is immortal. So I found that really funny. All right. So that being said, Thank you all for joining. That about wraps up our time for this week. My name is Rachel Goodman. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Rach Goodman or on Facebook at Rachel Ann Goodman. Also, if you haven't done so already, go over to our Facebook page at Restless Rap. If you go over there, like and follow, then you'll always be able to find the link to the show. And if you post any comments, I will be sure to read it on the show. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night, and we'll be back next week on Sunday.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.